Good morning, everyone. This is Kelley Hobart from Alpaca Direct, and I'm here. I just started a project. It is socks and it's mosaic knitting, and it's going to be great fun. I'm going to be talking about tips for making mosaic knitting easier. And if you don't know what mosaic knitting is, we'll be talking about that too. So, good morning, everyone. For all of you that are just coming on, it's nice to have you here with us. It's a beautiful day outside here in Idaho, and it is going to be a warm one again. But I've still been managing to do a lot of yard work and spend quite a bit of time outside. So that's why my knitting has been faltering just a little bit because I'm enjoying the outdoors while the weather's good.
Low 90s, right?
Yes, it's nice. Very early in the morning, it's wonderful. I've been out there doing all kinds of stuff. So, and a couple of my next projects that I'm going to be doing are washing all the outside of the windows, and I want to wash down the outside of our house and get everything nice and clean.
Ask them if they want to see Sydney, our puppy, anymore.
Oh yeah, I'll have to bring Sydney in for you so that you can see her sometime. You should see how big she's getting. She's turning into a big girl, and she's in the fear stage, so she is a screaming Mimi whenever we meet any other dogs, and I'm working on that. So, but she's doing great, and she is a puppy, and she's doing good. So every week we have a prize. For this last week, we had this lovely ultra alpaca yarn, and it's a 50-50 blend of it's wool and alpaca, and it's a great yarn made in Peru by the Barocco Yarn Company. So you can see right here how lovely it is. If you haven't used Ultra Alpaca, they have it in chunky, and they have it in sport weight, and we have it in like this Ultra Alpaca, which is a worsted weight. And then I was thinking for this week, I don't know if you've ever seen this unique sock yarn. Here's what it looks like in the package. Can you see that okay, Jim?
Yeah, that was a knit club project, right?
Yes, and here's what it's like looks like when it's knit up. So I was thinking I would go with this colorway, and we'll just call it number 62. And again, here's the...
Or pink.
Or you can say pink. Yep. But it has all different colors in it. And then this other colorway is number 59, and it's more fall colorway. You see how pretty that is? And that's what it looks like when it's knit up. It stripes all by itself like that. And this unique yarn by Earth Yarns, it comes in 2 little balls ready for you to use. So if you've never done socks before and you want to do 2 at a time in the round, this is perfect because it's all set and ready for you to use.
And we have that for a knit club too.
Yes, we had it for a knit club. It's I love the different colors. And matter of fact, I'm using it on my project that I have here. This is the yarn that I'm using. I don't know what color number it is. I have that label at home. And you can see my little socks that I started this morning. And they're just mosaic knitting. And it is from this pattern called Lacy Not Lazy Madness Socks by Emma Wall. And I found this on Ravelry. And what I like about her patterns is they're super reasonable. They're like $3 and something per pattern. And it is a kind of very comprehensive pattern with 3 different sizes and this lovely mosaic knitting. So you can see on her, she had a rolled cuff up here, and I did mine in regular ribbing because I had done it in a rolled cuff, and to me, mine looked it didn't look as tidy as I would like it to. So I did mine with regular 2x2 ribbing, and you could see that I did that. It's a German twisted cast on. It's really nice and stretchy, and I'm really enjoying this project. And I wanted to show you how easy it is to do compared to just doing regular color work, because mosaic knitting, you're only knitting 1 color per round. And with color work, if you're using 2 colors, you're most definitely using both colors, and you'll be holding 1 color in one hand and the other color in the other hand, and it's a little more complicated. So this is kind of nice, and so I thought it would be a great pattern to work with today.
So everyone's coming online.
Good morning,
Indiana,
everyone. It's
New
so
York,
nice to have you here with us from New York. That's awesome.
and
Yeah.
Florida.
Nice. And
Canada.
Florida and Canada. Jim's reading it all off to me.
And
because
Sandy says that was a winner. Sandy.
Yay!
So
What did she win?
Sandy. She said she won pink yarn.
Nice. Nice. Sandy won was a winner of one of our prizes, and she won a pink yarn. Nice. That's awesome. It's so lovely because every week we give these giveaways, and I like to give the giveaways so that you guys can get the yarn in your hands and you can see why I like it. And my motto that I use and live by with Alpaca Direct is I like reasonably priced yarns that are good quality. And so that's what I'm looking for when I'm looking for yarns, the best quality that I can absolutely find. And I prefer yarns that are made in Peru. The Peruvian people are such artisans. It's wonderful to have Peruvian.
Turkey. Show me.
Yes, this one came from Turkey for the unique sock yarn for the winner for this week. And we have the, let's see, it'll be on your right side is the pink colorway, and on the left side is the fall colorway. So you guys choose, and we can get that in the mail out to the winner for next week.
Tell them they shipped it directly from Turkey to us. Right?
Yes, they did. They were wonderful. They shipped our knit club yarn directly from Turkey. But it's kind of, I love the colorways. Very pretty. It's nice to have some striped sock yarn back in stock. And so I wanted to take a look at this lacy but not lazy madness sock pattern by Emma Wall. If you have never done the Mosaic Knitting, it's wonderful. And oh, thank you, sweetheart. So I wrote down a couple things that I was thinking of when I was doing my project. And first of all, I like to use stitch markers to mark the pattern sections. And you'll see here on my chart, let's see here, I have almost finished one repeat. And right where this, can you see how I'm on? I think I just finished number 8, so I'm on number 9. But you can see on here, every time I finish a round, after I complete the round, I use tick marks. And this pattern calls for you to do it 6 times, and then I'll be doing the other part of the chart. But basically what mosaic knitting is if you look here, this dark color is knitting with the main color, and the light color is knitting in the contrasting color. So the contrasting color you would knit all the way along here, and then the dark color you'd knit the next round, and then it goes light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, so all the way up to the top. So and then on here, these little arrows mean it's a 3x3 cable. And what that was a right-leaning cable, and then you just keep that center stitch in between the 2 cables. So if it's a 1x1 cable where you're slipping one and cabling one, you would keep the opposite color of that stitch right in between the 2. It's actually really super easy. And so that is totally was a great thing. And then also when you're knitting, I used yarns. I used a blue color yarn, and then I used yarn with blue in it. But I will tell you from experience, if you've never done this before, just use 2 completely different colors of yarn. It'll be easier for you so you don't accidentally pick up the wrong color and start knitting with the wrong color. And then to make sure that you take your time and have fun when you're doing this. And lastly, when you're doing any kind of color work, you want to make sure that you're knitting a big enough size so that when you get done with your socks, you'll actually be able to wear them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be terrible if you did all this work and you found out that you were it was too small for you to actually wear? And then another thing is, you can see here, even just sitting on the table here, my yarns are trying to tangle around each other just with that minimal movement that I had. You see how it's wanting to just tangle around everything. So managing those yarns are always a good thing to do. Usually when I knit with one color, I'll move the new color forward and I move the old color to the left so it's out of my way. So I'm only knitting with the yarn that I need at that time. So you can see on the needles here is this solid color. So now I'm going to be going back to the multicolor, and you can see that it was used one round below. Now, when you first do this very first stitch, be very careful about cranking too tight on this first stitch, because if you do that, you're going to make a ridge right here that is very unsightly when you're doing 2 at a time using the magic loop. So just keep that in mind. And then you'll look here on my chart, what I did in the very beginning, I did 8, and then I wrote 13, and then I wrote 8, because I know that there are 8 stitches in this section, and there are 13 knit stitches plus these 3 stitches that are either slips or cables. So that's what I do. Instead of just trying to keep track and count it as I'm knitting it, I don't do that. I take a long stretch. I count it ahead of time so that I don't get off track. Also on this pattern, the stitch markers might have to be moved as you're knitting to be able to accommodate those cables or the knit 2 together SSKs. So if I'm knitting this with my multicolored yarn, which I am, you just take that first stitch and just let it slide to the back, but don't pull on it, okay? So we're going to just do 8 stitches, and it didn't show me in the pattern, but yarn overs, I knit through the back loop, because in this pattern it has yarn overs, and I don't want my cabled pattern, sock pattern, to have holes in it. It's not a lace pattern, it is a cabled pattern. So I knit the knit stitches through the back loop, and then I keep it from being holy, if you know what I mean. So I'm right here at this V, which a V means to slip, and then I knit 1, and then I slip. And then I'm going to do 13 stitches in the in just knitting. So let's see what I have. I had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take that yarn over, and what I like to do is just bring my needle up and over and knit that through the back loop. 11, 12, and 13. Now I should have 3 stitches left, and it tells me to slip 1, knit 1, and slip 1. Slip 1, knit 1, and slip 1. And when you're doing this, I don't know if you've noticed, but because you're working one yarn at a time, there's no floats to interlock. Isn't that cool, Jim?
So it's mosaic with no interlocking floats.
Yeah, you don't have to mosaic, you don't have to interlock the floats because it stays nice all the way along, you see?
Yeah.
There's no floats to interlock. So it's super nice. Now, if I had my proper needles, I would be using a needle that had a sharper tip on it. And I really like the Red Lace by Chalgu. Needles are my absolute favorite to do this kind of project. So again, I'll be doing 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a yarn over. 6. Oops. Make sure not to split. Oh, I'll do that again. 6, 7, 8. And then I slip it, and then I'm going to be slipping a stitch. You see how that makes it makes like a raised column whenever you slip those stitches, and it just makes sure these lines really stand out. And you'll see it. I'll show you next week when I get more done, so you can see what it looks like. 2, oh, there's a yarn over. 3, 4, oops, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then we're going to do a slip, a knit, and a slip. And then we do the last 8. Do any of you out there, do you guys do magic loop method when you knit? Have you guys learned how to do that? It is my favorite way. It's the only way that I learned how to knit. So, I've used double points before, but since I used the magic loop right from the very beginning when I first learned how to knit, it is like second nature to me. And then what you would do is you just take that other needle, because this is where the last stitch was, and you slide that other needle into place. And then you scoochy it down there. Here's my working yarn, so I'm going to be knitting right here. And then I do the front sides. And make sure to slide that needle to the back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit through the back loop. 6, 7, 8. And slip, knit, slip. And then knit 13. 1, 2. There's a knit through the back loop. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Knit through the back loop to close up that hole. 12, 13. I should have 3, and then I have a slip, a knit, whoop, and a slip. There you go. And then I just knit this to the last 8 stitches. And then I'm almost done. I'm done with sock number 2, but I have to finish the back side of sock number 1, because that's the way the magic loop works.
So these are mosaic socks.
Yes, these are mosaic socks, and they're going to be kind of almost a little squishy. They're, for me, they'll be almost a little bit roomy, but I actually don't mind that. I don't mind that for this kind of sock. It's fine. And then, so you see? So all I have to do is finish this, and then I'm done. And then you can see the mosaic knitting is starting to develop, and you can see that I have the nice stretchy cuff on there because I use the old German twisted cast on is the name that I usually use. But isn't it cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are going to be great socks, and I'll be so glad when I have them done. I'm excited to see what they look like. And because I usually don't do top-down socks. So this is something that is different for me. And I love different. I like being able to do different things. So you guys don't forget to vote again for the lucky winner. And we have pink or fall.
And tell them what it is.
And this is Earth sock yarn. It is called Unique Sock. And can you see it? Oop, oh dear, now I'm throwing things. Do you see the colorways? Sorry, sweetheart. Thank you. Thanks, Jim. And then here's the pink one. It's awesome. It was kind of glared.
Yeah, show them the box.
Okay, I'll show you again. But this is for the lucky winner for this next week.
Pink or fall? Yep.
You guys will love it. If you haven't done socks before and you haven't used self-striping sock yarn, it's fantastic. It's totally awesome. And let's see, what color was the winning color for this week? Do you know?
It was blue.
Oh, I love this color. It's kind of cobalt-ish with some lighter blue mixed into it. See how beautiful it is? Let's see who the winner is. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Darlene Johnson. Yay! Congratulations, Darlene. You won some lovely Ultra Alpaca yarn, which is 50% Peruvian Highland wool and superfine alpaca. Beautiful yarn. If you haven't used it before, I use it for all kinds of stuff. And it's kind of nice because this yarn is a non-superwash yarn. But what that means for you is maybe you have to rinse it out in the sink, but it doesn't stretch out when you make your project. It keeps its shape. So it's totally fantastic. So Darlene, get in touch with us at customer service at Alpaca Direct. And all we need is your shipping address, and we can get this out in the mail to you right away. So I hope you enjoy it. And some things that I was thinking about doing for the next couple weeks is I'm going to do a cute little hippo toy that was free on Ravelry today when I looked at it, from Claire Garland. If you've never seen her toys before, they are so intricate and so darling, aren't they, Jim?
That's a big project.
Yes, they're always big projects. Well, actually, it turns into a little tiny thing, but really they're like 17 pages to complete. But if you want to learn a ton of skills in a small project, this is absolutely the project for you, because her instructions are extremely clear and easy to follow. And she gives little pictures and tutorials for you to follow too, so that you can learn how to do it properly. And then I also want, then week after that, or whenever I do this next one, it's called 3 Variations of the 1898 Hat. And what it was is like a military free pattern that has thousands of people that have done it, maybe 7,000 people almost that have knit this pattern, and it has a lot in it. And I was thinking I would make 3 variations of it to show you how you can make this really cute little hat, and use that one pattern for all kinds of stuff. So I thought that would be great. So I hope all of you have a great week, and I will see you next Tuesday.